So what should I call you though? Do you have like a name for, since you're going to be like gold leader? What should I call you? What should I just call you your regular name? Should I call you Tiki Topher?
Tiki Topher, Chris. I mean, I'll take Red Leader. That might be a little presumptuous, but
Red Leader? Can I be Porkins?
I mean, if you want.
You got the body for it, right? Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Tiki with Ray, and today I am in the Devil's Reef, which is going to be the future clubhouse for a new Star Wars Tiki club. And this is the Red Leader, otherwise known as Tiki Topher on Instagram, but what should people call you?
Tiki Topher, my name's Chris. Red Leader's fun too.
Oh, Red Leader's fun, as I said, and I'll tell you what, I'm wearing my Tiki Golf Club shirt just to show that I love the idea of like having little clubs, little Tiki get-togethers, because let's have a common interest. What I love about Tiki is the combination of people combining things. Mm-hmm. And I don't have a problem with that at all, but there is a lot of people that do, but I don't care. It's just like, well, I love Star Wars. And when you mentioned to me about your club, I'm like, oh, not only do I want to interview you and find out more about your club that's going to be happening, I want to join. So, what's the story with this Star Wars Tiki Club? Do you have a name for it?
We're the Kessel Rum Runners.
The Kessel Rum.
Kessel Rum Runners.
Not Kessel Run Runners.
Kessel Rum Runners.
It's going to be hard to say because it's the Kessel Run.
That was kind of the idea. Combine the two, and the idea of combining Tiki with other things is kind of the impetus of this whole thing.
Yeah.
I've noticed that when I come to the bar, I'm talking about three things.
What's that?
I'm talking Tiki.
Yep.
I'm talking Star Wars.
Yep.
I'm talking Disney. There's like a lot of overlap I'm noticing in the Tiki community. We all kind of love these things.
Yep.
I think it stems from escapism. That's my personal theory. I mean, Star Wars is a big universe that you can escape into. Movies, books, comics. Tiki's kind of that same thing. Just like you go to a different bar, you're transported. That's what I like. I like merging those two ideas together.
Me too. Well, here's the thing. I mean, like I got into Tiki like in the 2000s, obviously. Yeah. So I've been into this for like 15 years or something like that. But I've been into Star Wars. I mean, I'm OG. I mean, I saw Star Wars in the movie theater in like 1977. I was 6 years old. So, like, I've been into Star Wars way longer than I've ever been into Tiki. I mean, like, I love Star Wars. Star Wars 1977 is my favorite movie of all time. And to the point where, like, I don't even think how there could be anything else but that movie. I have watched Star Wars so many times. I know that movie. I know those characters. When I was a kid, and it was, like, those action figures, you can buy toys. I was in. Star Wars became my life.
Yeah.
And it never really went away. How did you get into Star Wars? Like, what movie started it for you?
It was A New Hope. I was a little younger, so my mom bought the 97 VHS re-release that they came out with.
Oh,
special
yes.
editions.
Oh, and I tell you what, I wish there were Blu-rays of those versions.
Yes.
Because they were the original versions, but just cleaned up.
Yes.
Not altered and not changed.
Yeah. So my mom bought that, and she was like, oh, watch this. And I was like, all right. So we watched A New Hope, and I was like, this is amazing. Let's watch the next one. She's like, no, it's bedtime. I was like, I need to keep watching. And literally from that moment, I started collecting books, games, action figures, you name it. Like, I've got it.
So you were a kid, you're talking, this is the 90s.
Yeah.
So you were a kid then.
I was 7, I guess, when that came out, because I was born in 90, so.
Okay, so that being said, did you have any idea of this Star Wars universe before your mom had you watch these movies?
So weirdly enough, I watched Spaceballs first. My mom,
May the Schwartz be with you.
I can't explain why she decided that was the best route, but I think it was on TV or something. She was like, oh, I love this movie. You should watch this with me. I was like, all right. So we watched Spaceballs. I'm like, Dark Helmet, that's hilarious. So then she finally was like, all right, let's watch what this was riffing on.
Okay.
And that's, but I didn't get like how big of a phenomenon it was until it definitely had a resurgence in the 90s. Like my generation really, we had the prequels.
Yep.
Love them or hate them. But they definitely helped revitalize the entire franchise.
Well, I remember those VHS they came out, and I owned them, and I was excited to have those because before that it was the transfer that you would have gotten in the '80s was poor, and I remember going into around the same time they re-released the movies in the theater. I think it was like literally like the late '90s. They released Star Wars, they released Empire, they released Jedi. And I remember going to see those. And it was really, really exciting to go see those movies on the big screen. And then shortly after that was the prequels.
Yeah.
And then things kind of died down. And the interesting thing was like, once Revenge of the Jedi came out, that was kind of it. The idea was like, all right, well, he's done.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I had no idea that they would be making new Star Wars movies.
Oh yeah, there was rumors of it when I was a kid, but George was done basically.
Yeah.
So when they got re-announced, that revitalized the whole franchise again. Like,
and Disney was going to be taken over. Like, what? It's like at first I was sort of like, what, are they gonna have like Donald Duck in the movies and stuff like that? And I will say this though, I mean, say what you want. Well, I want to get your opinion because, and there's no right or wrong answer. I loved The Force Awakens. I thought that was a great movie. I really loved it. I went and saw it in the theater like 3 times at least. It made me excited about Star Wars again. I loved it. There was so much potential. I love Kylo Ren in that movie. The ending with Luke when she's about ready to hand him and there's Luke. That was a well-made movie. I don't know how I feel about The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. I saw them in the theaters once and then that was kind of about it. But what about you?
so kind of the same. Force Awakens, just the fact that it was revitalizing the whole franchise. Yeah. I loved it. It's kind of rehashing the story we already knew, but that kind of fit for Star Wars, like a cyclical nature of the storytelling.
Absolutely. Well, with Return of the Jedi, there's another Death Star.
Yeah, we experienced that. So I loved it. And yeah, I will say the other two, not as big of a fan, but like them or love them or hate them, they revitalized it. They gave us Rogue One, which is one of my favorite new Star Wars.
I love that. I loved how they filmed that, how that movie looks.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so good.
It's one of the. To me, it's on the same level as the original trilogy. Like it fits right in with my playthrough of. I watch Rogue One and then I watch 4, 5, 6 because it just it dovetails right in.
Yep.
And then we got the Mando out of this. Like,
oh, the Mandalorian's great.
Mandalorian's amazing, and that's kind of Mando was actually the reason I wanted to start this club. So it was like,
oh, how so?
Like, the episodic nature of it was so new for Star Wars. Like, having something great come out and then wanting to talk about it for a week until the next episode came out, and that was like me and my buddy Andy, like who's kind of my co-founding member. He and I would just kind of come to Devil's Reef and be like, dude, did you see the new episode? And we would talk about it for an hour or two, having drinks, talking Star Wars, and that was kind of the impetus. Like, I bet you there's other people who want to talk about Star Wars with us. It can't just be us.
Oh, I could talk about Star Wars to infinity.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. I mean, I still have all my original action figures that I had, like from when I was a kid in the 70s going into the 80s, and I have them proudly displayed on my shelf. They're all there. I still have the stand with the little holes with the little nubs that you put them in. Oh, well, I'll never get rid of those. And I really actually came to the conclusion that the oldest thing, the thing that I've owned the longest, is actually my Luke Skywalker action figure.
Oh wow, like the OG Kenner.
The OG
Kenner figure.
And I thought, I was like, okay, everything, like all the things that I've owned, it's the thing that I've owned the longest, and I still have it, and I'll never get rid of it. And I remember when Tiki's were putting out the Star Wars mugs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's cool. I have the entire original set in the red boxes. You do have some mugs here though.
Yes.
So let's talk about some of these.
So I got Max Rebo here, which actually won here at the bar. Brandon from Beeline Creative, Geeky Tiki, was doing an event here, and they had a raffle.
No way.
Won this. Super excited about that. Got Grogu, of course, everyone's fan favorite.
AKA Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda.
Not. I think is that an egg?
I think that's his frog. That's his dinner.
Well, he was eating frogs and eggs or whatever he wanted. And this is the Rancor.
This is the Rancor, which
are these all geeky tikis?
yes, these are all geeky tikis. This little mini Luke mug.
Whoa! Look at that.
I actually got this from Beeline, from Brandon. He actually sent that to me because I got talking to him at the bar, and he was very kind enough to send that to me.
Oh my god,
This was a
cool.
Comic-Con exclusive. I was very fortunate to get that. And then just the swizzles. I mean, that's the thing. Like Star Wars and Tiki they've blended. I mean, these are the shag.
These are the shag swizzles.
Yes.
Those shag mugs are not cheap.
No.
And very, very desirable.
Yes.
And here's the thing: it's like when it comes, you want to talk about combining things. I mean, there's a lot of people I know that are big into shag. I am a big fan of shag, but I don't have the money to have anything for real. But God, I love talking about his art, and
Yes.
he has combined Star Wars, his art, and Tiki. And here's the thing: it's just like when it comes, what I love.
I think this is shag right here.
Yeah, it is. It completely is. Like he has Han and Greedo there.
Yep.
Yeah, no one shot anyone yet, so I guess he's going to leave that ambiguous. I think what's interesting is that this is what I found. I mean, I meet a lot of people through Tiki, and of course I love Tiki. I love it more than anything. Not as much as Star Wars, though. This is the same. But I love going to people's home bars, and I love meeting new people with Tiki, and I love talking about Tiki. But I definitely love when you can get to the point with people where, like, okay, yeah, we've talked about Tiki. Well, what else are you into? What are some other things that you're into? And then like, oh, you're into Star Wars. Well, let's talk about Star Wars, or say music or something like that. Or even like with my thing with the goth, it's like, oh, you like goth too? Ooh, cool. Let's talk about it. And what I love is that Tiki is kind of like the common ground playing field for people to come together and talk about other things.
Yeah.
I remember a couple years ago when the Geeky Tiki mugs came out, Jason had all the mugs, and then he actually made a cocktail
Yes.
for each of those. Did you try those?
I've tried a few of them. I tried some of he was doing the Rick and Morty collection. I tried like the Pickle Rick and the Evil Morty. Like, yeah, that's another thing I really love is just like, especially coming here, tailoring a drink to a mug and exploring the flavors of an imagined world. Like he's actually got a drink that he's made for us for the Kessel Rum Runners.
Oh, really? What's it called?
Called the Kessel Rum Runner.
The Kessel Rum Runner.
It's a members only drink. He only makes it for me and my buddy so far because we're the only members. But as people join, I want to be able to like come up with more drinks myself, work with him. I want to taste the galaxy just in Tiki, kind of bring those flavors and vibes together. So.
Oh, that's a great tagline. I want to taste the galaxy. And just for the record, Jason Alexander is a huge Star Wars fan too.
Yes.
He is a big Star Wars fan, and it's like, if there's any place that's going to have this club, it has to be here. So let's talk about the club. What's the next step? What's going to happen? How can people join? How can people reach out to you? What's the plan?
So you can reach out to me on Instagram. I've got the Kessel Rum Runners Instagram hashtag handle. You can reach out to me personally on @TikiTopher. We got a Twitter coming up, I think today. My buddy's starting it up.
Okay.
We got an email, tikitopher@gmail.com. Reach out to me. Let me know if you're interested because I want to grow this into something where we can just like meet new people. We had 2 years basically where not a lot was happening.
Yep.
And now I want to meet people. I want to talk interests. I mean, we don't just have to talk about Star Wars, but there's plenty to talk about with Star Wars and Tiki. So
I mean, as long as we're not talking about Star Trek, right? Is it going to be open to like anyone, anywhere, or is it going to be more of a local thing, or what are you thinking?
I mean, I would love to expand it. I mean, local obviously would be a great place to meet, but if we want to do like little meetups or virtual meetings, I mean, I'm open to anything. Like, I think this is something that a lot of people like and will probably grow.
And you're talking about potentially having maybe a monthly meeting here or something like that.
Yeah, my goal is to kind of third Thursday of every month just kind of meet up and working with Jason on times. We are going to be doing a kind of smaller meeting on May the 4th. So if you're interested in that, like reaching out to me on the Instagram would be a good spot for that.
Yep.
But kind of the basic vibe is I want to bring people together just for talking, but I also want to do trivia nights, giveaways. Like I've got extra geeky tiki mugs that I'd be willing to raffle off, give away in prizes for trivia. Obi-Wan's coming out at the end of May. Like I want to have episodes where like I can hook up a projector and we can just watch
that'd be cool.
episodes of Obi-Wan and just talk about it right then and there. Like,
Well, the cool thing is they have the upstairs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm sure if we're doing like on a Thursday,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be bothering anyone.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I'm in. I mean, I'm in. I've ran this idea to a couple of my other friends. They're like, how do we join? So we're excited. So, and if there's any new developments, I will share them on my Facebook page too.
Awesome.
And get the word out for you. So, may the force be with you.
And also with you. One Star Trek fan who might come, but I told him no Trek talk.
No Trek talk. I like Star
I like
Trek.
Star Trek too.
But that's the thing. I like Star Trek.
Yes.
I love Star Wars.
Yes.